Hi. So it's Monday. Stove light was on. It's like 12:20 right now. It's up here next to the pills, because that way, like, otherwise I'm like, or huh. So I'm hoping that being a little bit closer to the camera, I'm still not going to be putting the intro in because that thing's screamingly loud, but. So, as the title of the video says, this is sort of like what to do with an injury. Now, I kind of qualify football with 3 injuries. I mean, technically we can get super morbid and say there's a 4th one, and that's the death one. But nobody likes to think of that one. But technically there's only 3. There's light injuries, which are like misplaced fingers or sprained ankles or something you go to the sideline and your physio takes care of and like massages your muscle out, a cramp. You're out for a series, maybe a quarter or something like that. And you're able to go back in the game. You don't have to suit down. Then there's the moderate injuries, which you probably do suit down for because you're out for the rest of the game and maybe a couple games, like a pulled hamstring or an actual torn muscle. There's not very many of those, but they do happen. Sometimes you just get like an absolute shocker and like your hip or your back kind of goes out a little bit and you just need to go by a chiropractor and they're gonna so that's that. And then there's what I call these, and it's a doom name. It's called a catastrophic injury. It's ones that'll keep you out for multiple weeks, if not an entire season. I'm keeping my hopes up that this is not going to keep me out. It's certainly not going to keep me away from football, as I have said before. Nick Alfieri, who plays for the Fayetteville Unicorns, he actually had a very similar injury a couple of years ago, and I don't know if he was out the rest of the season or whatnot. I haven't done a real good study of his channel and watched all the videos, but he was able to play again the next year, and I believe the year after that. Again, I'm not sure on the timeline. He was able to play a full season. Like, I watched him play a full season with the Fayetteville Unicorns, and then they win the German Bowl, and everything was great. And then I found out he had metal in his shoulder and had to get surgery to take it out, yada, yada. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I'm using that as... And he's an inside linebacker, so it's like, I understand that after a while, some injuries will mean you have to change positions. But he had a very similar injury to mine, doing in a very similar position with me at a much higher level than I do. So that's my keeping my spirits alive. And so that's the benefit there. What can you do? Well, most of my viewers, at least during football season, are, and I want to say youth because I'm in my 30s. So pretty much anyone under the age of 20 is youth. Even though I know that youth football at this point is like grade school and middle school. High school football is different. I get it. But most of y'all are going to be having a student life to deal with an injury. And you need to be taking care of your grades because football's great and all, but it doesn't last forever. And even I know that one, and that depresses me for a while. It depresses me from time to, I'm always wondering, is this it? Is this it? Is this the one that does in my season? My career, yada, yada. Before it ever even started. And I talked about that on a previous video. But that's just a generalized anxiety fear that I have all the time. And I hope a lot of athletes kind of have that one. So what are things you can do? Well, for your high school, you can kind of be a temporary assistant coach. Like, I know that coach is pretty much anybody that doesn't, that isn't a player or a physical trainer. Because I know a couple guys that have been coaches, but really all they do is film and do stats. So that's just the designation. So you're an assistant coach. You're probably not, doing anything. Like, I know Willie had a catastrophic injury. Like, he still had to go to college and stuff, and he was in the full, like, ankle to hip leg brace. do that because he couldn't bend his knee. Yes, I'm going all Napoleon right now because this part of the tape is being funky, so it helps to kind of move it around. Plus, if I hold it to my side, I'm not doing this with it, which is where it hurts the most. So it's sort of like, yeah. Anyways, so other things that you could, like, you know, if your coach wants, you know, ask your coach what you can do. I mean, if you've got an injury like this, you know, maybe you can help your team at home games and do like chains maybe. That helps during the game. You can maybe run water out. I mean, while the bone is healing, I can't really do contact. Can't really put pads on until I can do that stuff, but I can go to the games and run water out and help, you know, be another set of eyes on the sideline. During practice, I can go and still like run the linebacker stuff, like set, go, and then tell them what to do and what we're doing in this order, yada, yada. What am I going to be doing? Well, I think I covered with Coach that I'm going to be doing like basic stats. We'll probably talk about that more after the surgery. We don't want to like inundate me right now, but it'll be like doing stuff on huddle. Probably, you know, like the big stuff. Like, is this an offensive play? Is this a defensive play? Is this K for special teams? How many yards did they get in this one? How many yards did we get in this one? So, yada, yada. Anyways, so I have lunch set up right here. That's kind of why I'm doing it in the kitchen. But, you know, help with your team. Because I know a lot of guys in semi-pro back in the States. They get injuries, even what I would call moderate injuries, and they'd like disappear from the team. They just like ghost everybody until they felt better. I always went back. Like, I did stuff and I was there for the team even if I couldn't physically be on the field. You know, as a side joke, I wasn't too terribly much on the field back then anyway, so, you know, kind of like, I mean, I might as well be filming instead of rather than suited up and standing by like a cheerleader. But, you know, when you're forced to do stuff like that, you know, it's a little bit better than, anyways. Always work on your physiotherapy, you know, exercise your muscles, make sure you're eating right. If you've got a bone problem, make sure you're getting your calcium, make sure you get out in the sun if you can. Netherlands. Maybe not go to a tanning bed, but, you know, get your vitamin D, get your calcium. I think magnesium helps. Make sure you have your protein. If you're just because you're not building muscle necessarily, and your strength training doesn't necessarily mean you don't stop eating protein, because collagen is a protein and it makes up a lot of your bones. That's a little health fact right there. So, but yeah, it's sort of like drink your milk. So that's that. My personal idea about like supplementation, like pills and stuff, don't take anything too big, because there is the general idea that you have expensive pee. But I'm just like, no. I would rather do as much to flood my system with whatever it needs. I'd rather have like 110 to 115% floating around in my system and have my body use 100%, rather than being like, oh, well, I don't want to have it, so I'm only going to have 80%. The body can heal super fast with given the right materials, and some people, they don't do that. Ow, ow. Tried to shrug. Thank God for pain pills. Anyways, so that's it. I need to get back to eating lunch. I will edit this video. I hope you guys, oh, this makes sense. I remember when I had my gallbladder thing, I was vlogging stupid because the oxy was messing me up. It's the one thing I know after a while that I'm like, oxy is affecting me because I'm just stupid. I will chat with you guys over the next couple days for surgery and stuff. I don't have a video planned for tomorrow. There may be a video that Aaron records on my phone and then uploads straight to straight to YouTube afterwards, and then we'll do other stuff before. Need to figure this out as we go. But like, first of all, I need to wait and get myself a surgery time.